Well, I'm trundling along here. I'm not getting a whole lot done, but I have made some pretty substantial changes. As you could see in the last video, I had this cloud and then another cloud that was closer, and that blossomed here. I had a valley here, another valley here. Just too centralized. Didn't like it. Didn't like the two bumps, you know? Even though one was significantly larger than the other. And also, the nature of the wash-in, or of the blocking in of my shapes, was such that it was heavy. It was becoming a little too strong, a little too much like building Thunderhead, or you know, something along those lines. And I didn't like all that strength up here, because this is going to stay very tamed down and very low in values. It's I'm not going to make it much stronger than this. I wouldn't be able to. I'm going to end up being a little weaker because I'm going to add some colors and raise the values in places in the foreground. So if I had all that strength in the ground, or sorry, all that strength in the sky, versus the ground, which was not immensely strong, I think I would end up with too much, not visual weight, but almost psychological weight up top here. It might overpower things. It might not be, it might be okay. You know, I could also have just, never mind this being a silhouette, and painted the whole thing as higher value painting, with more dark to light ratios in the foreground. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to maintain this as being fairly subdued. Anyway, with that kind of thinking, and that only applies to this painting so far, I decided to soften this. The reason being probably the fact that I'm taking painkillers at the moment, so I have a less clear mind, and also I'm a little more of a chicken. So I was looking at it on and off over the past couple of days, and I didn't have a vision of where I wanted to take it, not a clear vision. Yesterday I took a little drive to the store, and on the way back from the store, the sun was going down, and I looked out to the right-hand side of my car, and there it was. The answer was right there. And as I saw the sun going down, and you know, I basically had the same idea. Sky going bluer up top. This light, not such solid cloud, but a little more feathery, a little more ethereal cloud coming in front of it, and then fairly strong reds below. So I came home and I decided, okay, that's what I'm going to play with today. I think that's the answer. You can still have lots of structure, but keep it a little bit ethereal, keep it a little softer. That's why I've done this. I'm likely going to take the odd wisp of cloud and break it in across the blue in places as well, so that this doesn't look like such a mountain almost, you know. Hopefully that works out, but I'm feeling more comfortable with it now. I've sort of reclaimed or regained a vision that I have as to where I'm going to take it from here on in. Now this is still, I've painted this in with a little lighter blue, and actually this blue, ultramarine blue, there's alizarin crimson, and there is also burnt sienna in places, and a bit of white. So I'm considering this blue background to be pretty much done, except, as I said, where I might feather in a few spots of this foreground cloud into it, just to help loosen it up a little bit. It's a very strong line, you know, wouldn't hurt to break it up. And something I need to bear in mind is that this can still go much higher value if I want it to. In fact, it's going to, because as you can see, these are very sort of almost scumbling, tentative looking brush strokes. I prefer stronger brush strokes, but I needed to do that to put my mind at ease that I could get away with sort of these colors and values in the foreground of the sky. Not this foreground, just the sky as we come closer. Now I see it, I think it looks good, and now I know I can go into it with more direct, stronger brush strokes. Somewhat more, anyway. But something else I'm going to do is see how high I can bring up well, not see how high, just bring up the values down here in places a little bit higher. I kept them toned down a little bit, but I think it might be time for us to just lay a stroke in or two. Just to show. Okay, I wanted to come into the sky somewhere over here, I think. Giving it a little more structure. You know, I have, as I wanted to, I have this higher value here now. That pulls away. This has overpowered this. Now I need to bring this up and make sure that it overpowers that. Which I don't see being any kind of a problem. So I've mixed up a little cad red medium, and I have yellow ochre mixed in with it. And so cad red medium and yellow ochre. If need be, I still haven't played all my cards on this orange. I can still mix cad yellow medium and cad red medium, and that will become even more intense, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. I don't believe it is, but we shall see. We shall see. This is going to be a little bit of a slower painting than I originally planned. I'm going to throw a little bit of alizarin crimson in there, but I'm not spending that much time at the easel right now. This is very contrary to my initial plan, which was to use a knife and have kind of a wildish, strong sky. You know, we've gone completely the opposite now. Now we're looking at a much weaker sky. That's okay. It's maybe it's not a weaker sky. Maybe it's just. Maybe our strokes just aren't as strong. How about that? We'll bring this color a little bit lower yet. Still not strong shots, just sort of scumbling in nature, but that's okay, it works. Sometimes that's the right application, the right technique for the job. And of course, this is all, you know, I'm not saying to you this is how you should do it, I'm just telling you this is how I'm doing it. Subject to taste. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and of course that's subject to taste. So if you're holding bees, like in the eye of the beholder, so if you're a beekeeper, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, enough of that. Enough Tylenol talk. Let me just take a little step back here. Well, that's certainly bringing that to life. That's definitely doing the job. I'll raise the value a little bit in a couple of spots here. Playing and playing and playing. All right. Well, I think we'll leave it at that for now. Time for me to go lay down again for a bit. Yeah, so now that we've punched that up, what we have really is chroma versus value. The chroma has to win, even if it's only just barely. So now I can go into this area and give more design to the purples that are there, instead of just sort of a blur. And then I will go up top and lay in some stronger strokes of, what is that? That's yellow ochre, raw umber, and white. I don't want to go yellow ochre and white because I will end up again competing with this too much. So we'll go for a higher value, but we'll definitely keep the chroma down. Raw umber and white and yellow ochre, that it still has sort of a creamy appearance, but not too intense. So, and I just keep playing and playing. Now I'm going to consider this to be done. All right, maybe I'm wrong, but if it needs something, it's not going to be much. Now I'm just going to have to play with this very subtly in various places. This painting obviously is taking a while, and it'll probably continue to do so. I'm still needing a lot of lay down time, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye. No, not yet. Sorry, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that thing that I usually try to remember, and that is square off the camera. Give you a better idea of what's going on. There, that helps you see the composition more accurately. See, this area is still kind of weak and undecided, but as you can see, our horizon is coming to life. High chromas against very, 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 very low value, almost black. So you see those brush strokes are a little more definitive. Whoops, I always do this the wrong way. And these ones up here are still pretty tentative. Either way, there's not going to be a lot of paint on this canvas. No impasto stuff here. Okay, see you guys.